it's done, your architect, your team will take care of all of it for you. Now, who would like to know how to do one deal and retire? All right, here we go. It's a development I did. It was 29 units. I paid $3 million for the land. The deposit was provided by private investors. This was actually the first development site I ever did. I decided to start small. I don't recommend it. The deposit was provided by private investors. The upfront costs were $150,000, which I also borrowed. I used absolutely none of my own money in this site to develop 29 units. Here it is. It was a bunch of houses. That's what I was going to build, and so I started selling straight away off of this plan. That's it being demolished. That's ready for excavation. That's the car parks being done. That was about level 2. That was just about lockup. That was completed, or just about completed. We are at lockup now. I had sold everything by this stage. Yeah, so back here, I'm selling off those plans. I'm selling here, I'm selling here, I'm selling here, I'm selling here, so that by here I've sold. And that's what it looks like at the end. So by this stage, I'm able to cash in on my profits rather than freaking out and trying to sell. 29 unit development, $2,039,000 profit, none of my own money, a hell of a lot of stress being my first development. Now, if I didn't have such a fetish for shoes and diamonds, I probably could have retired on that. Would you agree that many people could retire on $2 million? Yes. Exactly. Many people would be happy to do so. But if you want to keep going, and I roll my profits from each development into a bigger one and a bigger one and a bigger one. But you could do a site like this once a decade. Now, many of you are thinking, yeah, but as if, I'm not going to build 29 units. Get real. Who's thinking that? All right, let's start smaller then. Here's the feasibility for this, and I'm going to put these slides up on Jamie's website so that you can have a look at these as well. The profit margin, as you can see, is $2,039,000, and the percentage was 21% profitable. Now, as a developer, you want to go for a minimum of 20% profitability, and that's what banks will look for when you go to them and ask for finance. So make sure you're minimally getting 20%. Who wants to start off on something a little bit smaller, not comfortable on going 29? Here's an example of 8 townhouses. This is a beautiful deal. These are the kind of deals that you just love. 8 townhouses. The land cost was $650,000. I put down $1,000. The equity was provided by the vendor. So this guy had been trying to sell his property for a long time and hadn't been able to. He heard that I was developing and came and said to me, look, I've got it DA approved, I just want to sell it, will you buy it? I looked it over and I said, sure, I'll buy it. He couldn't believe it. He then said, okay, I suppose we should talk price. I said, oh no, I'll pay $650. He couldn't believe it. I said, I'll give you $1,000 today in good faith. I'll give you the other $649,000 in 12 months when I finish developing it. Total profit was $716,000, and I had to put in none of my own, $1,000 of my own money, and that was it. So the vendor left his money in it. Does that make sense? Who would like to put in $1,000 and get back $716? Not bad, right? The kind of deals you like. There's the feasibility, 28% feasible, as you can see, $716,000 profit. Who would like to start even smaller? Little baby steps? Absolutely. And I recommend doing this. If you're going to get involved, I would say start optioning first, and I'll teach you exactly how to do that in my course and give you the options. If you've then done that and you like it, go off and do a duplex. Build it up. Don't go and do 29 units. Here's the one a bit smaller. It was a duplex. The land cost $700,000. The deposit needed was $70,000, and the construction was 80% complete. Now, I made a fool of myself on this development site because I found this development site and I thought to myself, I'm a big developer. I don't do duplexes. I only do big development sites. And a friend of mine had said to me, if you ever find a site, just a nice little site, let me know. I'd love to do something. So I found this and I gave it to her. Here, you do this little one. Bloody idiot. Me. Total profit of $247,000 in 3 months, 12 weeks. She had to do basically nothing. It was 80% complete. The guy that had originally done it had gone through a divorce, gone back to Lebanon, the bank had repossessed and was selling it. She had to hire a builder just to wrap it up. She had no knowledge of property development, but knew that I was there to help her. Hired a builder to wrap it up, gave it to the local real estate agent to sell, made $247,000 in 12 weeks. Do you think I felt like a tosser? I'm a big developer. Well, I missed out on that big profit. Ridiculous. She's now gone on to do other deals as well. Now, who's ever driven past a site or a property and thought to yourself, yeah, but somebody must be doing that? Something's surely, yeah. It happens all the time. You know what? Maybe nobody is doing it. Maybe it's waiting for you to come along and make profits on it. Here's the profitability on that. 24% feasible, $247,000. Who would like to learn how to do a deal for no risk, no money down? Now we're talking. This is a deal I'm doing right now. None of my own money. The vendor is holding all of the risk, and he's fine with that. And the vendor is paying for everything. All of the DA costs, all of the construction, everything. And he knows exactly what's going on. It's a nice little joint venture. Has anybody ever heard of a joint venture? This is where you partner up with somebody else. They might have the land, you might have the education experience. In this case, I've got the experience, he's got the land. He doesn't want to make any money on this. He just wants to cut even and get out. But he will make a little bit of profit on it. I went to him and I said, it's going to take 15 months. It's a 12 townhouse site. Once we build them, the market value of each property is going to be $330,000. And they're going to be, and I've said to him, I will help you with the whole development process. I'll show you how to do everything. I'll walk you through it. It'll all be done in your name. It's all done for you. You pay everything, but I'll be here to help you through it. Now that's worth gold to people, right? To have someone walk you through it, someone who's done it successfully. I said to him, and I'm not going to charge you my project manager's fee of $350,000. I'll do it for you for free. But I want to option the end properties. So once you've built them, I can come and buy them off you for $260,000 per property. And they're worth $330,000. Do you see how that works? He builds it, he does all the risk, but I help him. Nothing's in my name except that option. I put no money down, I've got no risk. I've just given myself the ability for no risk to buy 12 properties, $70,000 below market value. I could then on-sell them or I could keep them and have a nice cash flow positive little portfolio. $70,000 per profit, a total profit of $840,000. Not bad, right? Now what would you need to do that? You'd need the education. You'd need to know how to walk this guy through the steps. Or you'd need to have done a development site before. Do you see where it's not about how much money you've got, it's how creative you can be. It's how entrepreneurial you can be. This guy tried to sell me the site so I could build it. And I said, no, but I'll help you, and this is what we'll do. Yeah? So there are no limits. You could do joint ventures, you could do options, you could do anything you wanted in property if you understand the process. I'm going to show you the strategy now. Are you ready? It's simple, it's straightforward, but it is impacting. Year one, you build 6 houses. The retail value of each house is about $360,000. So total value of about $2.1 million. The developer's profits are about 20%, about $432,000. You sell 5 of the houses and you keep 1. That's simple. You build 6, you sell 5, you keep 1. You could use any of the strategies I've spoken to you about, options, joint ventures, vendor finance, but you build 6, you sell 5, you keep 1. It takes most Aussies 20 years to pay off a mortgage, and you have just done it in 1 year. Do you get that? Isn't it ridiculous? We're all bending over backwards for 20 years to pay off a property, and you can do it in 1. And you're not doing the building, you're hiring other people to do it for you. Not bad, right? What if you go further? You go, you know what, I like this strategy, I want to pump it up. Year 2, I'm going to borrow 80% on equity of the money that I made in that first property. I'm going to borrow $288,000. I'm going to build 12 this time. I'm going to sell 10, and I'm going to keep 2. It's been 2 years, and you've now got 3 properties with no debt attached. Clients of mine do this part-time. They have jobs and do this while maintaining a job. How is that possible? Because other people build it, other people design it, other people project manage it. You're just the guy who put the deal together. Does that make sense? Yeah? Year 3, you loan another 80% on equity. So you've loaned $576,000. You build 18 houses. You sell 15 and you keep 3. So you're doing the same thing each year, but you're pumping it up a little bit. At the end of 3 years, you now have 6 properties with no debt attached to the properties. The total value is more than $2 million. $2,160,000 worth of property in 3 years with no debt attached. And you're getting a rent on them of $1,920 a week. Passive. Not bad, right? And you're not the builder, you're not the one that does the work. Does that make sense? So can you see how many different ways there are to create money in property? Has it opened your eyes up to maybe some different ways you could trade? Ways you could do it without your own cash? Yeah? You could speed this up, you could tone it down, you may have resources to do even more. It comes down to your comfortability level, how fast you want to do it. I've got clients that have gone out and gone, stuff this, I'm going to build 35 in my first year. I've got others who just go, no, I just want to do a duplex a year. So it comes down to what you feel. So what do we know? We know that we can start developing with no money. We know that development will fast track the growth of our property portfolio. There is nothing that will grow your property portfolio faster than property development. Even if it's like that example of the joint venture where I don't actually do any of the developing or any of the risk or pay any money, but at the end I get to buy property $70,000 cheaper than anyone else would. It's not hard to get started. If you have the knowledge and the education, these deals are everywhere. They are absolutely everywhere. So what do we do? How do we actually get started ourselves? You've got to push your comfort zone, guys. You've got to be willing to push yourself, push where you are currently, and go just a little bit outside of your own comfort zone. You need to keep learning. These strategies, I tell you, I learn new ways to do it every single day. I hang out with other developers, I hang out with other people that are making more money than I am and learn new and interesting ways. So you've got to keep learning so you can work out exactly how to do these strategies. You need to get creative. If you just do it the same old boring way, then you're going to be spending 20 years paying off your mortgage rather than doing it in one. So you've got to get creative. You have to ask for more. If you're not willing to ask for more, you're not going to get more. And you need to play the game. So who's willing to play the game? Hands up, who's willing to play the game? Who here has a development site that they think, or a property that's a potential development site? Yeah? What's your development site? Do you own it or are you thinking of buying it? Okay, what's your name? Are you willing to play the game? Would you like to come up on stage? Come on up. Give her a round of applause. It's Jenny. Do we have a hand mic? How are you going, Jenny? You pushing your comfort zone a little bit?
Yes.
Yep. Well, for doing that, I'm going to give you a prize already, just for pushing your comfort zone. I'm going to give you a DVD. It's called Put Your Knowledge to the Test. It's me taking about 50 clients through an exact strategy of how to work out what money is in a deal, how you can structure a deal. We take these clients through 3 different development sites, and it starts to give you ideas of how to get creative. It's about an hour and a half long, so there you go.
Thank
for
you.
Pushing your comfort zone.
Right, I'm shaking.
Give her a round of applause.
Deep breath.
Now, what is this development site? Tell me a little bit about it.
It's slightly over 1,100
square.
Oh, it's slightly over 1,100 square metres. It's in Perth, in Gosnells.
Perth, great area to develop right now.
It's
1,100 square metres?
It's just slightly over that, yes. It's got an old house on it at the moment. It's already... 5 units can be built on it.
Right.
The lady who owns it already knows that.
Yep.
She wants to develop it for over 55s because she can get more space.
Okay, so this is your friend's site?
Yes.
Does she know how to develop?
No, she's been fiddling around with it for about 2 years, and I was talking...
2 years? Man, I'd be in and out with that property in my pocket by now.
She was talking to me about it. I stayed at her place actually just before I came here, and she was telling me all about it, and just listening to her I thought she's never going to do this.
Right, and why isn't she going to do it? Do you reckon it's because she's got a lack of this?
Absolutely.
And a lack of this?
Absolutely. And she's taking a lot of listening to too many people who don't know what they're talking about.
And do you reckon because she's got that, she doesn't have any confidence?
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
See, it's amazing when you understand this subject. I could sit down with every single one of you right now and find some kind of deal that we could structure somehow to make it more profitable, to do it in a way that you'd never thought. Because I do it every day, and my confidence in doing property development deals, I know that there's some way I can make money out of any property. Because I've done it so many different ways, and I learn the subject inside out, and I do so many different deals. So if you were having this conversation with her and you had done my course, you could have probably said to her, love, I said pet, I said love, I said pet, I'll do it for you, I'll do it with you.
Yes.
Couldn't you?
I've been thinking that while you've been talking.
Exactly.
I've been thinking, oh my God, what can I say? I'm going to go home and do this.
That's exactly right. Well, the thing is, you've got to know how to do it. There's 3 assets you need to be a property developer. And you don't need all of them, you just need one of them. One of them's cash. It means that you can go and hire someone like me to do it for you because you've got the money. One of them's education. Means you know so that when your friends have sites like this, you can say to them, you know what, I know what to do, let's do it together and I'll split the profits with you. And the other one's experience, which comes after education. If you have no cash, you need to get education. That's the only way that you're going to get into development. Even if you do have cash, you need to have education so that you'd spend as little of your own cash as possible and lose as little of it as possible when you do your first deal. If Jenny had the knowledge I do you know how much profit she's going to make out of this?
I have no idea.
Right, so if Jenny had the knowledge I do, and if Jenny had something like this, a feasibility calculator, she could have sat down with a friend and said, hold on a second, I'll just pull up on my laptop this feasibility calculator I have, because all good developers have one. Let's type in the figures and work out how much profit you're going to make. Do you reckon her friend would be sitting there thinking, holy shit? Do you reckon her friend would be thinking, mate, I need Jenny to help me? Should I give her this? Yes. Oh!
Otherwise I would love it.
Yes, I'd love it. Thank
You'd love it? Are you gonna, there you go. That's as good as asking.
Thank you.
See, it comes down to you need the right tools and you need the education, and deals like this are everywhere. Now, you say to your friend, mate, I've never done it before, but I've just done this course and it teaches me everything and it gives me step-by-step education, so let's walk it through together. And because I'm going to do that with you, I want 50% of the profit. Now, she might think that she can get 5 townhouses on it, right, or units or whatever. I don't know the details of the property, and you probably don't know too much about it.
No, all I know is that the person who lives behind her works for the council, and they've already told her that she can put 5 on it. She wants to live in one and sell the other 4.
Right. Mm. See, if you had done my course or had the education, you could sit down with your friend and give her all different kinds of scenarios. She may be able to partner up with the neighbour and do even more than 5. She may be able to, instead of doing 5, do 4, but higher quality that have more profit. So it comes down to somebody who understands it being able to work out the figures. Does that make sense? So what do you need to do? You need to get creative. Yeah?
Yep.
Everybody give her a round of applause.
Thanks.
Hold on a sec. Now, Jenny did very well. She came up here, she was involved, she got creative with me, she was willing to keep learning, but she did something wrong. She didn't ask for more.
Oh.
Would you like to ask for more, or would you like to go back and sit in the
No,
audience?
I'd like to find out what I do next, because I really do want to help my friend.
Do you want to find out what to do next?
Yes.
Okay. How about I give you everything you need to do next?
Yes, thank you.
How about I
What
give
do
you...
I have to do for it?
How about I give you 20 hours of footage that will tell you the exact development process, and I'll give you more than 600 slides. I'll give you a developer's Bible, everything you need to refer to. Would you like all of that? You can sit down and watch it in your own home. You can fly to Perth and watch it with your friend. It will tell you everything that you need to know. Would you like that?
I would.
Okay.
Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Oh, good. I can help her now.
Yeah,
this
you
isn't
can
just about me. This is about her too. She's a good friend.
That's right.
Yeah.
Is there anything else?
No.
That's it?
Well.
Come on!
Is there any more?
No. How about I said to you, I'll give you 12 months free coaching.
Yeah. Oh, that would be brilliant. Oh, I would love it. Yes, that would be brilliant. Yeah.
So what's your friend's name?
Wendy.
Wendy. So when you and Wendy are sitting watching the DVDs getting freaked out, thinking, shit, we can't do this, call me up and I will tell you exactly what you need to do.
Oh,
I will help you exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
You can email me your feasibilities, you can email me whatever you need to do. Okay. I'll give you 12 months free coaching.
Thank
and
you.
that's all, so don't ask for more.
All right, okay. Thank you very much.
Not a problem.
Wendy will love you.
Excellent. It works to be in the game, doesn't it? Okay, so you guys need to learn the ropes. As I said, I could probably sit down with most of you here right now and show you how you couldn't be profitable in property development. Whether you go through to construction or not, whether you just want to option and then on sell, whether you want to just do DAs, whatever it is, I guarantee I could show you how to make more money out of property. Even if you're just looking to buy an investment property, I'll show you how to save $30,000. Who has heard, and if you know what I'm going to write, or guess ahead. Life is a game. You got it. Life is a game. Who here has played Monopoly? Everybody. Who's read the instructions for Monopoly but never played? Nobody? It'd be stupid, wouldn't it? I've just given you the instructions for property development. You're not going to make this money, you're not going to be able to win unless you play the game. I'm inviting you to come and play the game with me. If you do, I tell you, you're going to have a hell of a time. You're going to learn more than you ever thought you could. I hope you've enjoyed it. I've really enjoyed speaking to you. I'll be outside to answer questions, and as I said, for the first 26 people, I'll give you the free coaching for the next 12 months. Thanks, guys.